This is a very important concept that I want to cover. And because mindset is something that is very important for doing anything in your life. Let's say you are kind of like an athlete, or you are into business or into entrepreneurship, right? There's certain time, there will be certain situations that will demand to have you a strong mindset. If you will not have a strong mindset, you will that is there like it is completely impossible for you to succeed without a strong mindset, right? The reason is that is because the whole universe is made. The reason is that the reason is so simple. The reason is so simple that the universe is mental. That means everything in this world, everything in this reality is manifested from our minds, right? So we have the power to create our own reality. We have the power to manipulate space and time in order to get to where we want, right? So for that, we need to understand, we need to have certain belief systems, we need to have certain emotions, we need to have certain informations that will help us to have a very, very strong mindset, right? And mindset is not about, okay, oh, I just don't want to do a job, I just want to do a business. No, the, it is much more deeper than that. And we're going to cover that particular things in this particular video, right? Now, let's start with the first thing, that your mind is your limit, right? A lot of people, while they go into colleges, while they work at any particular corporate structure, right? What they basically ingrain in their mind, that society or any of the other people, all the people they have met, they can only have as best life as they can, not more than that, right? And a lot of people also self doubt or don't believe in their capabilities in order to achieve something, right? Now, that is a very wrong approach that I think, especially if you're into business, if you're into entrepreneurship and everything. Like, even a lot of people who I met who like want to start a business and everything, they just tell me like, I just ask them like, why you want to do business and how much do you want to how much do you want to get that particular business to what particular level, right? Okay. So I just asked him like, where do you want to see your business? Like, how much do you want to earn from that, right? And he told me like, oh, I know with my capabilities, I'm only be able to make at least 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs or something like that. The problem is that, bro, the problem is you're having a limit inside of your mind, right? And that is something that is what we call limiting beliefs, and we need to break these beliefs, because if you don't break your beliefs, that is stopping you, or that is keeping you at where you are, right? The At the current position that you are in, is because you have certain belief systems. For example, I'll tell you a belief system that a lot of people have a lot of self doubt, a lot of they think that they can't do anything. I don't also like to say that particular things, but still, a lot of people say like, oh, I'm not enough. I can't do this, that, whatever it is, right? The thing that they are not, the thing that they are, the thing that the thing that they are not understanding is they're basically manifesting that particular negative energy into the reality, right? So when you consciously, actively tell yourself that I am a loser, obviously you will be a loser. And that is the thing. People don't understand that all the things, all the limitations that they create, for example, the best of limitation that I can think of that a lot of people use is of parents, right? My parents will not be able to let me do this, right? They all have excuses, especially the Gen Zs, right? They all have excuses to not do the things that they like, right? My parents don't allow it, but I'll not be able to do it. I don't believe I can do it, right? I mean, understand this. Let's let's think like an autonomous person. Like, let's think like you don't have any religion, you don't have any name, you don't have anything. You're just a human. Just think like that, right? So ultimately, the excuse that people give of parents, that my parents are not allowing me. Think about this. if 20 years or 10 or 20 years down the line, you're not happy, you're not fulfilled, you are not doing the things that you want to do, or you are not building the dreams that you want to do. Obviously, if you're not going to build your dreams that you want to build and gonna walk on something that doesn't give you any fulfillment, obviously you're going to be depressed, right? Now, tell me this one thing. After 10 or 20 years, are your parents are going to be responsible for your situation? No, you can't blame them. You need to take accountability and you have to be responsible for that particular situation because you took the decision, you took the action to listen to what your parents are. Now, I'm not saying that your parents are like thinking ill about you. Obviously, they have a pure intention just to help you, they just want that you should not like fuck around, right? You should not waste your life. You should not get defeated by life, right? So they basically say, they propose you certain solutions with their perspective of life. Now, I'm not telling you that your parents are thinking ill about you, but the thing is, they are telling you certain options with their perspective of life, and that could be true or not true. That could be not true, most probably because they don't have the perspective of the new world. You understand how many opportunities are there. You understand how many people are getting millionaires right now. You understand that, not your parents. So the decision, what I personally think, the decision should be made with with the right information, right? Even you can, when you are taking decisions, you can take advices from mentors, right? They will give you more better advice rather than taking from parents. I'm not telling this in a disrespectful way. Obviously, if you want to take this in an offense, you can take it, but I'm not telling you in a disrespectful way because definitely you want to give your parents the best life that is possible, right? So it is your responsibility to take the decisions that is necessary to give them the life that you want. As simple as that. So don't use that as an excuse that my parents are not allowing me to do what I want. You need to take the actions, you need to take the decisions, you need to maybe fight a little bit for your dreams. Right. And definitely, if you are going to put the efforts, if they will see, I'll tell you, well, when my parents like actually agreed upon a business and everything, right? When they actually saw me working 12 hours a fucking day, my father saw me that my father saw My father saw that I worked 12 hours a day when I was at home. He saw that. He saw that I was dedicated to my business. He saw that I that is the only thing that I have on my mind 24/7. I'm only thinking about business, right? Because that is the only thing that I love. I love solving problems. I love building businesses. I love taking risks, right? So that's what I love and that's what I'm doing, right? And no one can like tell me what should I do. I can do whatever the fuck I want, right? So your mind is your limit. Understand this. Now, the second thing is very, very, very important is the difference between ego and arrogance, right? Ego is very important. Without ego, you will be not able to achieve the heights that you want with your life, right? Ego is something like a fuel, right? It 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 fuels your motivations and your discipline to do the work that is necessary in order to get to where you want, because you have set standards that my ego, because i I want to be a fucking millionaire. If I am a millionaire, I should have an ego like a millionaire and work to justify it. Now, the thing about arrogance is, I think there is a very, very thin line between ego and arrogance. When a person saying that he knows every fucking thing in this world, that's where arrogance come into place, right? That's where you just give up the mentality of a student, right? You just don't want to learn from others. That is the brutal mistake that you can do, because having a mindset of a student will not harm you at any point of time. If you want to learn something from any of the person, you can learn something. Whether I'm not only talking about money, right? You can just go to let's say priest, right? He was doing some puja. He can be doing some puja or something. You can go to church. You can go to maybe dargah, right? Or masjid, right? And you can go and talk to those people. You'll definitely get some points. Definitely get some learnings from all these people, right? So you should always have that mind of a student. You should have a ego, but you shouldn't have arrogance. And I told you the difference between them. The only difference is having a student mindset. Always have a student mindset. Always be willing to learn from other people, from videos, from everything that you can get the information from, right? Now, the third thing that is very important is you set a lot of to-do list. You like pack your calendars or something like that, right? You do all the crazy like productivity shits and everything. But the reason you're not able to complete all those tasks because you see the task as who you are, not what they are. Now, now let me tell you what is the difference between this. You need to understand this like very, very deeply. If you want to avoid procrastination, if you want to continuously work at your goal, you need to understand this very, very deeply. Right. When you are setting the task, you know that there is a certain ROI attached to that particular task. For example, if I'm making this YouTube video, I know there is a certain task, there is a certain ROI attached to this particular task, right? Because let's say I'm going to put this on YouTube, right? And then obviously it will work as a sales asset for me. People will view it, I'll get more leads, more sales, whatever it is, right? There is a ROI on this. Now, what you people do is when you look at a task, you look the task as who you are, like how are you feeling, right? Maybe I should do this task, maybe I should not do this task. After some time I'll do this task. Not now, come on, man. But what you need to do is you need to look at the task at like as what they are. Understand my point? You need to always see why you are just reading out a task, or maybe you have a task, you have a bunch of tasks. You should see what is the ROI attached to that. Is this particular task is going to give me ROI? Yes, I have to do it no matter how I'm feeling, no matter what my conditions are. Um, I just got here from gym and I'm just recording this video, regardless of how I'm feeling, because I know there is a certain ROI attached to this, and I have to complete it. You need this mindset. You need to understand if there is a task and there is a certain ROI attached to this, or attached to that, you need to do that task, regardless of how you feel. Right? That's how you can win. That's how you compete. Right? That's how you build businesses. That's how you are able to you are able to think clearly, you are able to iterate easily, right? Now understand this. When you see all the tasks as what they are, it is very easy. You just need to shut off your brain. You just need to understand that, okay, I need to make YouTube videos. There's a certain ROI attached to this. I'm going to do it. Okay, I need to make ad creatives. There is a certain ROI attached to this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, right? Because there is a certain ROI attached to that, regardless of how I feel, regardless what my conditions are. Because all these feeling, all these situations, all these things are temporary, right? But all the task or the ROI is permanent, right? So when you ignore all the things that is temporary, that that is kind of like a phase kind of things, right? Like I have a good phase, I have a bad phase, but the task, the ROI remains the same. And if I am able to control my brain and act at only one particular level, like I don't give a shit if my life is good, I don't give a shit if my life is bad. I'm just operating at one particular mindset, right? That's it. That's what you need to do. And the only mindset that you need is doing the ROI task as soon as possible. As simple as that. Now, last but not the least, but it is very important for you to understand this. When you set a goal, let's say you set a goal for reaching $10,000 a month, right? Or you want to be a millionaire, right? You have a goal. You think that figuring out a lot of hows on how you can get there is going to solve the problem. But what I think is, let me know. These are all the things that I'm telling you from my experience, right? What I have done in the last 3 years for being in the entrepreneurship status, being in the entrepreneurship space, and working with a lot of people, working with a lot of clients, and helping a lot of people, right? Uh, the only thing that we need to understand when we are setting goals is we need to change the identity of ourselves to that particular person. Let's say if you want to earn $10,000 a month, $1 million, right? Firstly, and this is very cliche, a lot of people tell about this, but people don't understand that. You need to become that person who earns $1 million or who earns $10,000 a month. Let's say I'm taking a simple example of $10,000. If you want to make $10,000 a month, you need to first put yourself in a position where you're making $10,000 a month in your mind first. Now think about what kind of inputs he will be doing every single day in order to achieve that particular thing, $10,000 a month. Example I'm giving how you can reach that. $10,000 a month, 2.5K clients, 2.5K clients, you can easily get to $10,000 a month, right? Now, to get for maybe 2.5K clients, you need 40 meetings, 40 showed up meetings who are genuinely interested in your products, right? If you want 40 showed up meetings, and let's say if we take the 10% conversion rate, it will be 2.5K clients, that is $10,000 a month, right? Now, to get 40 meetings, if you're doing outbound and stuff, obviously I'm not a fan of outbound. I'm always looking towards scaling with ads, right? Um, if you're doing outbound, you have to understand how can you break that particular system that you're working on. If you're working on the outbound, how can you break down that 40 meetings into the number of messages that will be sent, the number of follow-ups that should be sent, and the number of replies that should be sent. You should be able to have the KPI, that is key performing indicators, in place so that you will know that what particular task should be done every single day in order to achieve that particular thing. Because it's about time. It's not about if. It's not about if I'm going to achieve, if I'm going to emulate. It's about when. Understand this. This is very powerful. I, in my heart, and I'm saying this in this video, that I am going to be a millionaire, 110%. I believe that. I don't have any thought like if I'm going to be a millionaire. No, I'm going to be a millionaire. It's about when. That's all. That's all I know, right? And I'm working every single day towards that. I just need to I don't even need to focus on the goal. I have set the goal. Okay, that is my particular goal. Now I have to work on that every single day. Forgetting about the goal, just focusing on the inputs, what I need to do every single day in order to achieve that particular goal. That's it. That's how you have to focus on becoming. What kind of actions that particular person will take who makes $10,000 a month? What actions he should be focusing on? What are the things that he should be doing in order to maintain that particular revenue or profit every single month, right? First, put yourself in that particular position. Understand what kind of inputs that he gives every single day, and just focus on the third rule that I told you. Don't look at the task on how they are. Look at the task at like what they are, right? So what you need to do is you just need to understand like what type of things that you need to do on a day-to-day basis as an input in order to reach in order to become that particular person that make $10,000 a month, and you just need to do it every single fucking day. That's it. And that's the mindset that you need. You don't need a lot of affirmations, it's good to have affirmations and visualization, especially visualization. But because visualization have like direct connection with mm, like imagination and the reality really doesn't have any difference in our mind, right? So visualization actually helps you to solidify your beliefs and your perspective towards the world, right? Now, I have a lot of information regarding this. If you want more videos like this, then you can just comment down this video below, right? And if you want to work with me one-to-one, if you want some business stuff with me, you can check all the videos I have posted about business, because mindset is also very important, because without mindset, you will not be able to build or maintain that particular business, right? So yeah, I hope you got value from this video, and yeah, I'll get you in the next video.